Yeah, my name is Captain Anderson, and I'm the leader of the Planet Earthship movement. That's a new organization. It's global. It's got a few thousand members now, and we're going to get very big very quickly. You guys are going to all become members. You're going to go to the web page you see on the bottom of the screen down there, and you're going to check out the program and see what it's about and how it works, and then you're going to sign up. The Planet Earthship movement is going to be, for your generation, a defining moment. Much like Woodstock was a defining moment for the boomers, of which I am one of the early boomers. It's going to make you who you are. It's going to be the biggest event in your life, or in the lives of anybody in the coming years, because the problems that you are faced with are bigger than anything any human being has ever had to face before. Your problems are truly global. They're huge, and you're never going to be able to do anything if you're operating alone. To my knowledge, Planet Earthship will be the first truly global program of its kind. It could easily be the biggest program of its kind for two reasons. One, we're dealing with major problems, global problems, which we haven't had to deal with before, and we have an international means of communication which is instantaneously and virtually free. We have the internet now, so we can do things as a group, people, that nobody's ever been able to do before. And we need to, as a people, do it because the powers that be, corporations, governments, the big institutions with their boards of directors, even the big nonprofits, they may be well-meaning, but they're not doing enough. So we are going to get together and we are going to make it happen, all of us. Okay, you guys are going to be able to get in on the ground floor, which is nice because we have a few thousand members now, but we need a few million members. I'd like to get up to 100 million members. If we had, let's say, 10 million people, and just take an example, 10 million people speaking alone, individually calling their senators, they'll never be heard. But if you have 1 million people en masse speaking as one, you can move mountains, and that's what we're going to do. My generation had, in my time, we had to deal with things like segregation. Well, look, it took us a long time, but we eventually got up the momentum and we eventually did something about it. But it took us a very long time. The same is true with Vietnam. Vietnam was a big problem. It's a big problem, but it only impacted draft-age men. But still, pretty soon, a lot of draft-age men got upset and decided to protest and came up with their slogan, 1, 2, 3, 4, we don't want your effing war, right? Well, that's what we did. We marched on Washington. We started the movement that stopped the war. Now think about that. The government couldn't stop it. They couldn't figure out what to do. They didn't know how to get out. They didn't want to get in. They kept sending over more bombs and more bodies. They weren't going to stop it. Lyndon Johnson said, I don't want to be the first president to lose a war. Well, there you go. Well, he didn't want to change. Well, that's the problem with the climate today. Nobody really wants to make the sacrifices that need to be made in order to put our planet on a sustainable path. So what's going to happen? You see what's happening behind me now? I mean, we've had bad weather ever since there's been weather, but now we're getting worse weather and the events are coming closer together because the Earth is storing the energy. So what are we going to do? Government isn't going to stop it. Corporations won't stop it. That is, until they can make a profit in the process. Social organizations are virtually powerless. Religious groups are concerned, but what power do they have? The older people on the planet, let's say 40 and above, they've got their houses and their cars and their careers and all that stuff. They're pretty reluctant to give up what they've got. So the younger people, which I don't include myself in the group right now, but I was one once, you guys, we've got to get together in a group. We're going to call the group the Planet Earthship, and you're all going to be members. Just go to the page below. Let's see. No group of people has ever had to face the global problems we are facing today. You can't do it alone. As Bill Clinton, as a matter of fact, who, you can like him or not like him. He's not brilliant, but he's not too stupid either. He was asked to address his alma mater at Yale. And he said to them, and I'm going to read this one to you, we are living in a world that is unequal, unstable, and unsustainable, and you are going to have to deal with it. Well, I have to thank Mr. Clinton for saying that because that is exactly my message to you right now. We're living in a world that's unequal because we have a few very, very rich and a mass of people that are very, very poor, and that separation is becoming larger. We're living in a world that's unstable. You just pick up the paper any day. We've got extreme religious groups and Croats against the Serbs and Hutsis against the Tutsis and Arabs against Jews, and it's a mess. It's a mess. The radical Muslims are a problem. Radical anything is a problem. And then we're living in a world that's unsustainable. Totally, completely unsustainable. We are on a track right now that will, I can't tell you where it's going to end, but I can tell you we can't sustain it. So I need you, about Bill Clinton. He said, he gave you that brilliant speech and told you we're, unequal, unstable, and unsustainable. That was a terrific thing for him to say. The problem is he didn't tell you what to do about it. I'm telling you what to do about it. Each and every one of you can go to that website. There's, sign up. There's a quiz there. If you want to take the quiz, take it or not. Whatever you want to do, read about how the program works. When we get enough of us together, we're going to start to hold events. And we're going to start to hold marches. And we're going to let the world know that we care about what's going on. And we don't want the planet to, to end up going down the toilet. So for goodness sakes, join the Planet Earthship movement. Give us your email. Give us your name if you want to. Sign up. List what services you have and what things you think you can contribute to the program. Let's start moving forward. Let's do like those guys did behind me. You know what those guys are doing behind me now? That's the Vietnam protests. That's what we did. That's what we did. When we had enough, we said, you know what? We don't want this anymore. 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't want your effing war. Well, what we're going to do, all of us, 10 million of us, 100 million of us, we're going to do the same thing. Except we're going to go 5, 4, 3, 2. We don't want your CO2. 5, 4, 3, 2. We don't want your CO2. Now go sign up.